It is 3 in the morning, and you are awake again, not because you chose to be, because something inside you won't let you rest. The house is quiet, everyone else is asleep, and you are lying there with a weight on your chest that you cannot explain to anyone because you've tried, and the words never come out right. So you stopped trying. This is the version of you that nobody sees, not the one that shows up to work, not the one that answers texts and says, "I'm fine." This is the one that stares at the ceiling and wonders how much longer you can keep doing this. The one that has prayed the same prayer so many times, it stopped feeling like prayer and started feeling like shouting into a room you're no longer sure anyone is in. But here's what most people miss. That room is not empty. The silence you've been sitting in, it has a witness. Stay with me, because this next part matters more than you think. There is a verse in the book of Hagar, a woman most people skip over, that stops me every time. She was alone in a desert, abandoned, out of options, out of water. She had set her son down under a bush because she could not watch him die. And in that moment, in the most private, most broken moment of her life, God spoke to her, and she said something remarkable. In Genesis 16:13, she gave God a name no one else in Scripture had given him before. She called him El Roi, the God who sees me, not the God who fixes everything immediately, not the God who explains himself, the God who sees. She was not in a temple. She was not surrounded by believers. She was in a desert at what felt like the end, and God was already there, watching, present, before she knew to look. That is the God you are dealing with tonight. And this is where it changes everything. Most people read Psalm 139 at a distance, as poetry, as comfort, as something to put on a wall. But David wrote those words from inside a real darkness. Verse 11 and 12. If I say, "Surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you." Read that slowly. Your 3 a.m. is not darkness to God, the place where you feel most hidden, most unseen, most alone. That is not a blind spot for him. It is lit up. He is not searching for you. He is already there. He has been there longer than you have. What I'm about to tell you took me years to understand. The silence in those hours is not the sound of God being absent. It is the sound of God being so close that there are no words between you. Think about what happens at 3 in the morning in the natural world. No performance, no pretending, no audience, just what is real. And God, who cannot be fooled and does not need to be impressed, meets people in exactly that place. Not in spite of the darkness, through it. Elijah collapsed under a tree in the wilderness and asked for his life to end. Not a metaphor, a man of God, at the end of himself. And the angel didn't preach at him. The angel touched him and said, in 1 Kings 19:5, "Get up and eat." Tender, practical, present. God's first response to Elijah's collapse was not a lesson. It was care. That is what he is doing with you tonight. Whether you feel it or not, the feelings will lie to you. The silence will feel like abandonment. The darkness will feel like evidence that no one is watching. But Hagar named him correctly, El Roi, the God who sees, and he sees the version of you that only comes out at 3 in the morning. The honest one, the exhausted one, the one that has finally stopped performing. And he is not disappointed by what he finds. He was waiting for this version of you. Romans 8:38 and 39 does not say that nothing can separate you from the love of God, except the dark hours. It says nothing. Not height, not depth, not things present, not things to come. The night you are in right now is not the exception. You are seen, fully, right now, in this. That is not a comfort. That is a fact. If this message found you at the right time, that's not an accident. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.